Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at Palantir. This is my second time recording this. I think the first audio got fucked up or something, but it's gone now. Anyway, guys, quick little intro, I guess you could call it. Before we get into this, understand this is strictly for educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor yet. It is something that I would like to explore in the future, just not right now. Anyway, if you guys enjoy these types of videos, hit that like and subscribe button and I'll continue to make them. Sounds like a fair trade-off to me. Looking into Palantir, it's a fairly new stock. Not really much that we can base our analysis off of, unless we dig into other stocks that have very, very similar characteristics and traits to this specific stock. There's a couple of things that we may overlook as traders and investors, and there are things that are factual that nobody can really look over. One thing that I want to state, most IPO stocks that have a solid fundamental backing will long quite a lot in their IPO, at least to what I've seen. In my opinion, what this does is we trap people within the markets and we get people to start selling. Why do we want people to sell? Because we want to push the price of the stock lower and lower and lower and scare buyers away for the time being. Why would we want to do that, Joseph? Doesn't that seem counterintuitive? No. Because the real buyers, the real ones that are in the loop of what Palantir may do next, there's insider traders out there in the world. There are people who are buying and trading, who work at these companies, who know the CEOs, whatever the case is. Looking at stocks like these, there is no doubt in my mind that this is a stock that has been front run. What does that mean? After we see this insane pump up in price, and like I said, we want people to sell, we want people to short the markets, we see an 87% sell-off. These are the same levels that you'll see in crypto that will fall 80, 90%, right? And within these levels, there is a very, very high chance, if the fundamental backing is solid, that we are not staying here very long. We are eventually going to trade out of here. And trade out of here we did. From these lows, Palantir is seeing a 360% increase in its stock price. Doesn't look like it's over. Does not look like it's over. In my opinion, if we're looking at this from an LE wave perspective, this is wave 1, break of structure, going into wave 2. We are probably going to see a wave 3 into new all-time highs, wave 4, and then wave 5. What's currently happening, in my opinion, is we are following what a lot of IPO'd stocks do. We're going to look at this stock called Immunovant, ticker symbol IMVT. Same scenario. IPO'd back in 2019. Saw over a 400% increase in its stock price. Shorted 95%. And now the stock is currently up at its peak, 1,300% off of those lows. Very, very similar scenario. Initial breakout, waves 1 and 2. Waves 3, even if you want to consider that 4. Consider that a wave 5. You very well can. You very well can. So this could be the end of the move. This brought us into almost all-time high territory. Palantir only shorted 87%. Much, much different than what we were looking at there. And we see the exact same pattern. Out of that wave 1 and 2, we see that sideways trading pattern. In my opinion, I like to look at everything from a head and shoulders perspective, right? But it's just the sense of looking at the market in threes. So I guess in short, I'll explain it like this. If we're looking at the market in threes, there's always going to be one level shorter than the others, and that's normally the one smack dab in the middle. In this case, we see it here. It can be ascending like this. Or it can be possibly even descending. Anyway, looking at these accumulations, or however way you want to call them, they all look very, very similar to me. So we're getting that out of the way. The similarities between them all is you can normally draw a pretty flat line. Pretty flat line within them. And looking at directionality, most of the time, the strength is within the thicker candles that we see here. Notice how it's choppy, 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 choppy. These thick candles that we see down here are the ones that are holding as support, pushing the price almost inevitably higher. Looking at this and drawing out our Fibonacci, our most realistic target is probably, oh, I almost drew that smack dab, roughly $50.48. So because we know this, because we see that choppy price action and the probability of price wanting to trade higher because of that trap liquidity, we are buyers within the market. Further, almost proving my point, we are trading at a level where we could have very well deemed this as some sort of reaccumulation. You can see lowest point, that could have been a head. Left shoulder, could have been a possible right shoulder. But instead, you saw it on the opposite end. There was your liquidity buildup. In a sense, this is still choppy price action. That is very well choppy down here. But this is a very, very manipulated level in my opinion. So if it was manipulated once, it can get manipulated again. Just to the opposite direction that we want to be trading in. Just because this was the end, or sorry, this was the beginning of one trend, and this is the continuation of another. After an 86% sell-off, we do not just randomly long 360% for no reason. Trading into, how far are we from all-time highs? 66%. A measly 66%. Mix it in with earnings on August 5th. In my opinion, that has to be the perfect catalyst to push the price higher. I'm not saying we trade into that $50 range by then, but let's actually extend this. This is the level that I think will hit. Just because now we're not just accumulating from here, but we're accumulating as a structure larger. Like this now. And you guys can go check out my other videos on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I even show an example in NVIDIA. The liquidity buildup within these patterns that look like this normally are extreme, and we just go long. So keep that in mind. Just keep this in mind. Palantir is one of those stocks where I will personally be holding in my portfolio. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not here to tell you guys to go and buy this stock forcefully, but I'm just throwing ideas out there on what I will be looking at. A couple of zones that I really need to break, in my opinion, are that level right there, $35.78, $45, our previous all-time highs. Are we trading above those? No, we're trading right at them. We also need that to break right there. So we're starting off with 29.35, as that would be the head of the head and shoulders pattern that took us out of here. The next level that I'm looking at personally would be 35.78, as we do see some sort of institutional candle. We've never really retested this one candle right here. That is the only blue candle before a serious down move. Like, we'd even come in the realm of retesting this. So I'm not going to add too much conviction just because of how low volatility was in here. And it's just sort of choppy price action. We're looking at something a little bit more expanded, not just one single candle that's very, very small. But anyway, the next target that we have to break through for us to have more conviction in that $50 price point is our all-time highs at 44.65. If all of these things come into play and we start breaking through them, we know that that level starts to become more and more likely. Keep all these things in mind. Keep that wave 4 in mind. We'd even have to have a very extended wave 5 like we've seen in IMVT if that was the case. So all of these things mixed into one. We don't know what's about to happen, but we can make a very, very calculated guess. Anyway, guys, feel free to hit that like, subscribe, Discord link inside of the description of this video. Take care.